Welcome to Alliance Attractors. Guys, it's Friday. Freedom Friday, guys. Favorite day of the week. Talk a little bit about growth. We're working our business all week. Today, we focus a little bit about growth and attraction, and we got a special one today for us. And I'm excited. I'm excited. But let's get everything started the right way with some blessings. What amazing things have happened for you guys this week? Who wants to start it off?
I'll start it off.
Jump on
Can
in.
you hear me? Yeah.
We can.
Hello, I'm Josh Vashenko, real estate broker from Manhattan, CEO and owner of Liberty Alliance Real Estate Group in Manhattan, East End Alliance Real Estate Group in the Hamptons. And wow, my green screen is doing a funny thing. Anyways, that's not important. What's important is I made a connection this week, broker in my region, Lucy Quinones, who's the one who invited me here, and through that connection, doors are opening up. I have been asking the man upstairs for a mentor, someone in the business in the area where I am right now, which is Southwest Florida, and he's done that. And I see huge, absolutely enormous growth on the future. So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
I love it, Josh. Welcome aboard.
Thank
We
you.
got to connect. You're here in Manhattan. We're here in Manhattan as well. So
Good.
let's connect.
Sounds good.
Fantastic. All right. Who else has something great happening this week? Jump on in. I met with I had a great meeting with a broker this week, somebody I've known for years and years and years. And finally it looks like it's coming time. So we've moved him up the ladder and he's talking to the right people. And now we're just trying to set it up so that everything fits. And it seems like it's going to be working fantastic.
I have a blessing to share real
Please.
quick. Josie connected me with an agent that is looking to expand her business here in Florida, but she lives in Mississippi. And so she's going to be moving here eventually, and we were able to connect, and I'm now her co-sponsor. So that's amazing just to be able to, just help her, mentor her, teach her the ways of this market and everything. So I'm super excited about that.
Awesome, Kiki. Can't
And I
wait.
got a builder meeting.
A builder meeting. Let's go. Uh,
Yes.
I also, I'm happy to say that one of my co-sponsors that I brought on board has registered for Build at Sea. So they're going to be able to, I'm going to be able to connect them all with you guys, and I'm excited to help him expand his network. He is a fantastic resource here in New York. He runs a company that helps reduce taxes for people on Long Island and in the boroughs. So great person to know. Also has an appraisal company. So I can't wait to connect them to our incredible, incredible group. Let me get a couple more guys.
Hey Vince, good morning. Lucy here. How are you?
Lucy, good morning, good morning.
How you doing? Oh
Fantastic.
my goodness. I don't know where to start, but let's see. I'll start by saying that things are starting to explode. It's harvest season.
That's
Finally,
right.
it's harvest season. So, just bringing other powerhouse people on that are looking to grow. I mean, God is opening up the floodgates. But one of my best things that happened this week so far, and there's been a lot of them, several, I'm going to be sharing more about that, but a local mega team wants to, align with me. And because of what I've been doing every single Wednesday, right? And the fact that I realize who I'm the best person to serve. I know that one of our Alliance Attractors meetings, Gil and you were talking about, we need to know what exactly is it that we are the best at, because we can't be all things to everyone. And so this person, which is here in Southwest Florida, has an incredible team. It's a mega team. They've got all the entry level training and step by steps and all the Zillow Flex leads and all that stuff. And so, it's incredible how through our co-sponsorship, we already did a co-sponsorship, and that's going really well. And now we're having a conversation of, okay, so what would it look like for Q International, which is me, to power your team by just bringing more people? And so, I thought that that's so powerful, because if it wasn't for the co-sponsorship, we wouldn't have that opportunity of really turbo boosting what each, our own strengths. So I'm in conversations with that. Um, Brought on a power broker this week that's out of New York. If he's here, I'll welcome him to raise his hand if he wants to, say
Yeah, Josh
something.
already jumped in, introduced himself, so we're ready to
Ah,
go.
all right. I love that. I love that. Hey, Josh. So, he's
Morning.
ready, and I told him I was going to connect him with you. So yeah, look at that. Good morning, Josh.
Morning.
So that happened as well, this past week. And a couple of other brokers, I just had conversations with other brokers here locally, independents that are like, one of them said to me, it's not a matter of if, Lucy, it's a matter of when and how am I going to do this? Because it's not easy. It's not easy for a broker that has a lot of agents to just, jump off the cliff and say, okay, we're jumping off the airplane we've been riding for, 20 years now. So, Josh, how
Yeah,
do you feel being here with Vince and everyone
Really
else?
good. Yeah, it's good energy. And I like people talking about blessings. I wish some more people would step up and just open their mouth and talk about what's going on.
all
Awesome.
right, guys. Josh is
Thank
inviting
you.
you in, so jump in.
Hey, hey Vincent, how are you? Hi everybody.
Juan.
So I just want to share. I had a blessing this week. I just got my first agent in Dominican Republic. So I did co-sponsor over there. So we were officially over there. So we have some business over there with my dad, and we want to keep growing my team over there. So finally, I got my first agent in the Dominican Republic now.
Beautiful. You just went international, my friend.
Thank you.
Congrats, congrats. I love this. This is setting everything up fantastic. I'm super excited about what we're going to be talking about today. We've got a powerhouse agent that we get to spotlight, our attractor spotlight. Super excited about this because this gentleman been in the business for 29 years, sold over 2,000 homes, and he's known for two things: results and relationships. And over these last, I think the most recent 17 years, he's been coaching agents. And he's taught like 5,000 classes. He's taught 7,500 agents. He's created 70 courses to help the people in this industry. He's a military relocation specialist. He's out of San Antonio, Texas, where his team is what, 3 games behind in the NBA Finals? But he's out there helping families, helping the military, helping fellow agents achieve all of their goals. I've met him, I've met a lot of his team members, and he's going to build at sea as well. Ladies and gentlemen, we have Art Fernandez. Art, jump in.
Hey, good morning, guys. Thank you all so much
Good
for having me.
morning.
It's a pleasure to be here. I will openly admit I am a basketball wagon jumper. I don't even watch basketball until I know a team I like is somewhere near the finals. And so I have gone from having no apparel to having all the apparel this year. And I don't take the accusations of being a wagon jumper offensively. I'm like, hey, I admit it. I watch football, and I don't even subscribe to YouTube TV until the Spurs were in the playoffs, and I was like, oh, we're actually good. Cool, I'm gonna watch this. So I used to go honking back in the day. If my New York friends don't know what that is, San Antonio has a weird knack for anytime, anytime we win any kind of game for the Spurs, the streets get flooded. People are flopping out of their windows, honking horns, going crazy like we have no resemblance of any kind of like normal civilization. They just go crazy. And so San Antonio's been enjoying the playoffs. And like I said, I'm honored to be here with you guys today.
Awesome, guys. I wanted everybody to really just get to know you a little bit, to understand your story, understand all that you've achieved, because it's like, what, 57 agents right now in the short period of time that you've been back to eXp, and we want to know how
Right.
you did it. So, start from the beginning. Let's hear your story, and then I'll open it up to Q&A. I'm sure these guys have a lot of questions for you.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. So I started back in the 90s when there was no rules about underage or unlicensed assistants. So I was a sophomore in high school, cold calling, door knocking, canvassing areas and holding open houses. If you guys were licensed back in the 90s, you know that there was those HUD foreclosures. And so my business mentor and father used to go and set me up in a camping chair in front of them so that we could host open houses because it was first come, first serve on the weekends. And so I really got like a grassroots thrown in the fire. I didn't know any difference. So like 30 years later, I still don't care about cold calling or door knocking. Rejection to me is just like, okay, on to the next one. And I've had the honor of, working with a couple of different brokerages over the last couple of decades, and it's been an awesome learning experience. And it was really interesting because if you guys don't know, or if he hasn't shared before, Mario and I connected, man, I think like right around COVID through social media platforms, and sometime in that COVID era, I started hosting some classes for him and his team because I have been coaching for, like the Vincent shared, almost 2 decades, right? And so I coach under the umbrella of bear coaching. I'll tell you all the whole bear story later. But I love bears, and so there was no affiliation with like a brokerage, and all of our local brokerages I got a great relationships with because they knew I was never going to try to poach their agents or any of that kind of worries that they would have. And sometime in that interim, when we were talking, and I just was looking for different opportunities because I had been in the industry, like we shared for a minute. I told Mario, I'm like, hey man, I'm thinking about switching, and he did the whole, "Well, you got 15 minutes," and I was like, yeah, man, I got 15 minutes, and we were able to meet. And obviously, I love one of those EXP signs that we have, and I'm sure you guys have seen that say once you've seen it, it's hard to unsee what you've seen. And it really got me interested. And yes, some people on this call like to laugh that I started real estate when they were born or they were in nursery school. Thank you for reminding me. See the highlights here. Um, so Mario and I connected, and then I was like, oh, I got to bring the boss in because, the boss is going to have a million questions. And once she saw everything, she was like, you should do that. And then it was really neat, right? Because we were starting to do things and work together. And I'll tell you guys this just to give some context to this session and help you guys understand how much EXP means to me and why this is such an important part of our journey. When I initially joined EXP, I don't know how else to say it. I wasn't EXPing. I was doing the same old thing, which wasn't bad. I was coaching throughout the community, hosting classes, like we say all the time, right? I was leading with value, and I wasn't EXPing though. I wasn't. Let's keep it real, right? Most of us at times haven't talked about EXP or don't share anything EXP because we have some reservations, right? We have some limiting beliefs around what if they ask me a question I don't know? What if I ruin the relationship? Fill in the blank. And even with the experience that I had, folks, like just being completely transparent and honest, I was feeling that way. I was like, I don't know enough about this. Like when Mario shared it with me, this guy knows it like the back of his hand. Like he understands the dynamics. And I was just kind of going along again with everything that I had been doing, but I wasn't EXPing, right? And if you guys have never met Mario, Mario has he has these certain looks sometimes that he's like, hey bro. And whenever he gives me like a hey bro, I'm like, oh, this dude's gonna say something like crazy, right? And it might be like, let's reorganize the whole office 5 minutes before class. it might be like, hey, we need to restructure the organization. And if y'all don't know our organization story, we did that, right? Mario had a vision, and last February we left EXP for 6 months. And in that time, the goal was to find, the upline partners and opportunities for growth that was going to help propel our organization and opportunities to the next level for all of our agents. And it was a hard 6 months, right? Being away from EXP, because I had just kind of, it was a little over a year I had been in. I had just started kind of going to some of the things. I had just gone to EXP Con, the first EXP Con, and I was like, oh man, that was amazing. And now we're going to leave 3 months later. And we did. And thankfully, we only had to be gone 6 months. And when we came back in August, we sat down, and part of our big vision, guys, is we do a lot of training and development locally, and we plug in with our friends here at Global Alliance, our partners at Honey Badger, and we're utilizing the tools and all the opportunities that EXP provides us. And so, when we came back, my heart and my mission is kind of in that same line of. I think 29 years of production gives me street credit to be able to share and help develop agents' careers. I think God told me, "Hey, son, it's time to hang up your selling shoes and selling boots and work on just helping others." And so that is the vision of where my heart and my direction is right now, is moving into 100% attraction as we continue to move here through the summer and throughout 2026. I've been really, again, grateful. Got from 0 agents to 57 right now by EXPing. And all I mean by that, guys, and again, we can jump into it more, is jump on these calls all the time, right? Like, why are you not on these calls? Why are you not encouraging friends to get on these calls? If you're in any kind of like serious commitment to your self development, you guys have all heard repetition is key to retention. And I love every other week or so when Vincent and Gil are showing the graphs of like who the leaderboard is. Like, having a scoreboard and a leaderboard is such a fundamental part of any organization's growth, right? Because we're all competitive. We love to see that. I love every week or so getting to hear about some of the new tools, or not even new tools, but just the tools that I forgot. Because let's be honest, right, there's a lot for us to be able to take advantage of. And so I think somebody had their hand up. I don't know if somebody wants to ask me something, because I'll talk forever.
Rebecca. Jump in, Rebecca. We saw your hand up.
She meant to high five me, not raise her hand. It's okay.
Maybe, yeah.
I have a question.
But yeah, shoot.
All right. Well, welcome back to the family. So, can you tell us a little bit about, because obviously, I mean, I've never left, right? So, how is it when you leave, right? So, there's a reason that got you to leave. There's something that happened, some type of shiny object. Can you share a little bit about, just so that we can understand the psychology maybe of people when they leave, and then what happened being out there, not being part of this ecosystem?
Right. The whole heart, the whole strategy was we didn't want to leave, but the way that the organization was structured at the time, a lot of the upline partners had left, or I guess the term that we would like to use here, at least anyways, a lot of us were like orphaned. A lot of our upline partners were MIA, retired, or went to competitive brokers. And so there wasn't really, when you were looking at it from the opportunities that are unlimited, right? When we were looking at it from who's helping us get to the next level, because right, there's always somebody bigger, there's always somebody smarter, there's always a Brent Gove out there that'll love you, right? And now Papa Brent is like my sixth level. And so it was one of those strategies that we didn't want to, but again, Mario hit me with that, hey bro. And when he hit me with, hey bro, it was like December of 24, and he was like, what do you think if we did this? And I was like, wait, tell me more. I got to sit down. You threw that all at me real quick. And he goes, my wife thinks I'm crazy, but what do you think? And I was like, hold on, say it one more time. And so it
We lost
restructure
your.
this.
All right, go ahead.
Yeah. How can we restructure this so that there's unlimited and endless possibilities? And in that immediate decision, the pursuit for finding upline partners immediately began, so that we wouldn't find ourselves in this same situation again as orphan type agents. And it wasn't fun leaving. It wasn't fun. I was just, like I said, getting so immersed in finally the EXP stuff, about a year in and having gone to EXP Con in October that I wouldn't recommend it to anybody. I wouldn't
So
recommend it to anybody to leave.
what was the new idea? Because I mean, there's so many ways that we could partner up
The,
with people, right? What was the new idea now
right. Well,
coming?
then you
Was there a new idea coming back?
Yeah, Mario found Jay Kinder, and we went and started hanging out with Jay Kinder, and then Jay Kinder introduced us obviously to Veronica, and so now Jay and Vero are our co-sponsors, and so we get to be here with you amazing people. And I tell people all the time, right? So when I say like we're not EXPing, and I mean this again with a big heart and respectfully, but why are not more people on these calls, right? Because they don't know what they don't know, and they don't know what they're missing, and they don't know what they have access to. And this is where I think, again, we as leaders, just encourage people to keep coming, right? Because the whole repetition is key to retention, and what you let in sets in. And I love being on these calls, even when I'm driving, just listening to the blessings, like John said, like Josh said, and listening to people like you, Lucy, every week share, and getting to hear people like Beto or Kendall and some of the calls on the technology stuff goes like way over my head because I'm such an old man. I'm like, wait, where does she log in and what button did she push? But I'm gonna hear it again next week and I'm gonna figure it out, right? And it's amazing. And I tell people with a lot of, again, respect and love when they ask me about competing brokers and other opportunities. I'm like, I promise you, in almost 3 decades, I promise you, at least personally, I've never had access or proximity to these kind of people like yourselves in my entire career. And people don't understand that until they jump in the call and then they start hearing the Gills and the Vincents and the Vettles and the Kendalls and man, just everything that we do. Like I've gotten to sit on Gino's class on some of the social media and relationship stuffs, and it's like every time he shares something, I take something away, right? Every time Vincent or Gil share something, I take something away. And again, I think all that comes with alignment with the right people. So my advice is don't ever leave because it's not fun.
You know what I find interesting is that you had a lot to offer. So it's not like you didn't have value to bring into the industry and offer to the people in your organization, but you saw more value in aligning and being able to offer all the things that the Honey Badgers offer and all the things that the Global Alliance bring to the table. And I guess what you saw is a way to multiply through the resources that we have and through the connections that we have, right?
Absolutely, right? Because what's the good old saying? If you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. And being able to share with everything that we do, just like you're saying, Vincent, right? So, what do we do now? Like, if you guys follow any of our social media feeds, we advertise like, hey, Monday at 9 a.m. we have a Honey Badger call. Monday at 11 a.m. we have a Global Alliance call. Monday at 1 o'clock we do this real play role play scenario every Monday at 1 o'clock via Google Meet. Monday at 2 o'clock, we're at one of our physical offices every week teaching. Tuesday, we have one of our other coaches teaching a 30-minute mindset heart set at 9 a.m. to 9:30 via video meeting. At 10 o'clock, we do a technology or technical class, whether it's an EXP tool, a Global Alliance tool, a Honey Badger tool, or walking through some technicalities of contractual updates. And then it went Tuesdays at 11:30. We do live lead gen. So whoever wants to come in, we're going to get our heads on right. We're going to do a checkup from the neck up, and we're going to do live calls for an hour together. So if you have reservations or trepidations about calling, I got a room full of cold calling ninjas who don't take rejection, anything at all personally, and they just keep smiling and dialing. And I know that's old school, but if any of you guys know, am I the only one that started back in the 90s? Anybody else back in the 90s? Anybody remember? Well, y'all know Gino Wickman, right? The writer of that book, Traction. His father, Floyd Wickman, was the first training I ever got. And I know some of you may not grasp this. And I know like one of my friends is
I was
on
a
here and
sweat
she's like,
hog.
hey, right? Hey, the cassette
I was a
tapes,
sweat
right?
hog.
Smile and dial. They're home. They're happy. They're going to list with me.
Yeah.
I'm a lean, mean selling machine. Like that's what I was raised on. And it was funny because when I share those stories in certain rooms, I get some of the youths looking at me like, what's a cassette tape? And I was like, get out, get out of here with your tic tac. And so, yeah, it's been an amazing blessing and opportunity to be so connected and so immersed. And my encouragement to all of us again and everybody is just keep getting plugged in because we are blessed, right? And when you look at the dynamics of and as a visionary and Leo as a leader and all the people that are above us paving the way, they're always looking at something different, some other opportunity for us to be able to leverage our business. And I think from what I know, unfortunately, when people leave or don't utilize the tools, it's an unfortunate thing that happens, but it doesn't have to happen if we can as leaders just continue to encourage them to get plugged in. And I get it, like right now our advertisements for all of our classes are like, hey, bring your freaking kids, like we'll set up movies and popcorn in the other room, because that's our thing right now, right? Like i
That's
got
a great
i got six
idea.
I got six kids over here, man. Like when people try to give me the excuses of like, I got kids, I'm like, yeah, dude, I got four literally sitting right there looking at me like we're hungry. I'm like, wait a minute, I'll feed you. And so we don't want to, we want to try to help make it a no excuse environment so that, people understand like, hey, these opportunities are here. They're not going anywhere. But the sooner you start taking advantage, the sooner you start plugging in, the sooner things can change for you, right? Because attracting the 50 plus agents, I hope it is just the beginning. Like I want to get to that 100, that 150, that 200. And I'm going to continue to plug in. I'm going to continue to share everything that we're doing and keep looking for other ways to help our organization and making it bigger and better as we continue to grow.
Art,
That's great.
when did the attraction really start, and when did it start taking off for you? Was it right from the beginning?
When I started asking people if they knew what we were doing,
Hmm.
when I stopped being worried, because I had this concern of like, conflicting interests, because even when we came back in August, I was still teaching for like three other brokerages because, again, that had been my reputation for 15 plus years, was like, hey, if we're, you know, in alignment with just the vision of bringing education to your agents, I don't try to recruit from your people. And when we came back, I just started kind of feeling like, man, everybody's constantly looking at me like, what are you doing? And some people would ask, and then I would feel torn because I don't want to make it seem like I was trying to take them away from the brokerage. And so in September, I started giving all the brokerages their notice that, like, hey, come Q4, I'm not going to be teaching for any other brokerages. I'm just going all in. So when I burned the boats and stopped teaching for other brokerages, it eliminated that worry that I was going to be crossing like an unethical line of working with these people and then, you know, having sidebar conversations with their agents about what we were doing. So when I burned the boats, when I just said, hey, it's cool teaching for all these brokerages, but I'm either all in or I'm not. And so I stopped. After a long, long time of teaching for a lot of the brokerages. Now, I still do it on the attraction side. I still partner with builders and I still partner with title companies, because what we found too is we tend to get bigger audiences at those builders or title partners, because the agents don't maybe feel as concerned about coming into like our physical office and somebody tagging them in a post or somebody seeing them walk in, right? They're walking into a builder, they're walking into a title company. And it's cool because if you see my banners in some of my classes, it says Bear Coaching powered by Honey Badger Nation in partnership with Global Alliance. Just like kind of Jay and Vettel teach, there's nothing anywhere that says EXP. It says Bear Coaching, Honey Badger, and Global Alliance, and that has opened up the door to make people feel more comfortable and get bigger crowds at some of those partners.
So you're doing these trainings, and you've got these people coming in. How do you approach the topic of, hey, I want to partner with you?
So it's been fun because, like I said, when I burned the boats and then started asking, so at the end of every class that I teach, at the end of every class at the beginning, I have the big logo that has Global Alliance, Honey Badger, and Bear Coaching, nothing EXP. I get QR codes for them to sign in, and I say, hey, I'm going to do a giveaway of a free month of coaching. And then at the end, I have that good old slide from Jay Kinder that says, want to leverage my $80,000 in marketing to close 2 to 3 more deals a month? Ask me about what we're doing. And then it has all three logos again of Global Alliance, Honey Badger, and Bear Coaching. And I just leave it up there and I say, hey guys, if y'all are interested in some of the things that we're doing, I'm going to stick around for a while. Please don't hesitate. And I do get people I get 2 or 3 people at least almost every session that stick around to chat. What I do then is I use Microsoft Forms so that I can have an electronic QR codes for sign-ins instead of, chicken scratch writing. And what I'll do immediately after the class is later on that same day is I'll record a thank you video and I'll send it to everybody in class. And at the end of that thank you video using CapCut, I just put in that same slide that says, want to leverage my $80,000 in income. Ask us about what we're doing. And there's no hard sell. It's just at the end of the thank you video. And then, it's so important because I love when you guys talk on these Freedom Fridays about, well, where's your list, right? Where's your list of agents that you're cultivating? So that list grows every month as we're doing more of these sessions off campuses with partners. And every month, at the end of the month, they'll make sure to get another, hey, here's what's going on next month, with the invite and then that little snippet at the end.
Beautiful. Jane, you had a question?
Not a question, just a testimonial, if that's okay, Art.
Yeah, feel free.
So I started to go to arts classes when I wasn't with eXp. And I always tell people, how I kind of got, not necessarily, I don't want to say sucked into it, right? But how I was convinced, because Art was, I would go to the classes and get a lot of value from the classes that he would hold. And then when I found out that he was doing mentorship, I signed up for his mentorship. Again, still with my other agency, with my other brokerage. And what got me was, this guy is pouring as much as he pours into me with no agenda other than wanting to make agents better agents, grow their business, things like that. So all I could think about was, if he's pouring into me this much, and I'm not even with eXp, I'm not even in his organization, in his brokerage, imagine how much he would pour into me if I was. And I wasn't wrong. So when I made that decision, and another thing, the key thing that got me one day, we were in one of our sessions, and he's like, I see you're producing, like, you're doing well. What happens when you stop showing? What's going to happen do you ever see yourself not being out in the field anymore? And what is that going to do for your business? Have you thought about other business, other aspects of what you can be doing? And I couldn't answer that, because in my mind, I'm like, if most of us, production is you have to keep producing, otherwise your income stops. So that's when he started to talk to me about attraction, about the different avenues of income at eXp. And that's what got me.
That is absolutely beautiful. And I see Mario put a little shout out over there and blasted your production out to everybody. And that's amazing. So it's not theirs, like you weren't just a brand new agent. You're out there, you're producing, you're doing fantastic. You're still out there learning, and Art's pouring into you. And then he gave you that question, the one that stopped to make you think, right? What's next? What happens if this thing stops?
And do you ever want to stop, or do you want to be producing forever? Like, what's your goal? Do you want to be selling forever, or do you want to at some point stop and enjoy your life? And that to me was like eye-opening.
Incredible. Thank you so
Man,
much for sharing that.
I tell people in several sessions, I'm like, look, it's going to be 30 years next April. I've at least wanted to quit 6 times. Like, there's 6 times that I'm like, I'm out of here, I'm done. And then, coaches, partners, or mentors that I share that with, they'll start sending me pictures of all these kids in the other room. And they're like, yeah, what are you going to do for them? And I'm like, oh, yeah, I got to go sell some stuff because they're expensive. And eXp provides so many abundant other ways that we can build our future. And if you guys don't know, just real quick, not to make this a sad sob story, but in March, I had an unexpected heart attack and I went down like a bag of rocks. I had open heart surgery. I was out for well, I wasn't supposed to even come back to work until like next week. But after 6 weeks, I was like going stir crazy and I was like, I can't just sit around here. I'm gonna strangle one of these poor babies if I don't get out of here. The thing that helped my family, the thing that kept us afloat and provided peace and tranquility was our revenue share. Like, and it's only with 50 plus agents, but agents that are amazing, like Jane and others on this call that are producers, that revenue share substantially helped us monthly. Like it provided a huge, a huge fill in that gap that I wasn't in production or coaching, right? Because can't charge anybody if you're not coaching for 6 weeks, almost 2 months. And that revenue share, I mean, I cried every time I get hit. Like in March when I saw it, I was like, oh my God, okay, cool, thank you. And then in April, I was like, I'm not working. Oh my God, thank you. Because I was literally in a rocking chair for 6 weeks, struggling to take 10 to 15 steps out of the room to get to the facilities and stuff like that. And so I love that Jane shared that because if you guys are not EXPing, if you don't understand how real these opportunities are. And I got 50 agents. I can't imagine what it's like to have 100, 200, 500, or 1,000 agents, right? Like I'll probably cry every time I get that revenue, you know, deposit every month at that point. Cause I know I will get to that point because again, the heart of where, the opportunity with sharing with you guys today is keep getting plugged in, right? There's always more that we can learn, or there's always things that we can do better. And you should never stop learning, stop growing, or stop wanting to get connected because we have amazing partners that are willing to do this every week, with the exception of some holidays. And I think that that's a huge blessing that people don't understand or maybe sometimes take for granted.
Art, I want to know, how you created duplication in your organization and didn't just put it all on your shoulders to go out there and grow this thing by yourself.
Yeah, no, I love it. I think alignment is so important, right? And so it was one of those things I knew when I met Mario, and then I knew once we started talking EXP and as he shared his visions and his goals and the importance of, I think the experience factor plays a big part. And maybe you're new or newer to EXP in this call, but here's the beautiful thing, right? Like success leaves clues, and you can be on these kind of calls and in this kind of organization with people who will help fast track, so to speak, some of those experience opportunities that you can do as we say, not as we've done. And so finding other great leaders like Jane, when we met, her first words were like, I'm not a recruiter, Art, I'm not a recruiter. And there she is with her own personal hub and like 15 plus agents in her hub in less than a year, and already excited about getting a bigger hub in a location and all this stuff. And one of our other associates on this call is, I don't know if you've met, I think you met Alessandra when you were here in town, but finding the right leaders, right? Because you get people like Jane, people like Ale, you align with people like Mario. So I would say it's about that alignment and then being able to share those visions with people that are wanting to go in the same direction with you, because then you start building that momentum and leverage through others. When I went down, thankfully, because Alessandra's attached to my hip, right? But she, what, last year in her first year listed like 26 properties, all through cold calling. And this is after I broke her down and made her cry because I'm like, you're young, you don't have money. If you're not going to tic tac and dance on social media like all the other crazies your age, then you got to cold call. She was like, okay. And then, 20 plus listings later, when I went down in March, she was able to take over a lot of the classes, at least to help facilitate, because she'd been in everything. She had been plugging into every class, coming to every role play session. She understood the tech part of it, or she was better at some of the tech. She was better at the tech stuff than me, right? Because I logged into EXP world and I was a girl for some reason, right? Like I had long blonde hair. I was like, I don't know what I'm doing here. Fix my avatar. And so alignment, the willingness to share your vision with others, to see if you guys are going towards the same path, and being okay if they're not, but being willing to find the ones that are.
Yeah, I love that. Um, I wanna I wanna see if anybody has any other questions for Art, or if Art, do you have anything else you want to drop to this group?
Yeah, does anybody have questions? I'm happy to answer anything. I'm an open book. I think Josh has a question.
Josh, if not Josh, we have Alessandra wants to come jump in.
Josh, you're on mute, Josh.
Forgive me if this sounds dumb. I'm brand new. What does it mean to be EXPing?
No, I love that. I think that's a great question. You're here, Josh. You're EXPing. Plug in every week. Make it Monday a non. And I love, because I don't know if I heard it from Vero, Jay. I feel like I heard it from Vero and Kendall on one of their classes where they were like, set your non-negotiables. Set your non-negotiables. And for our team, Monday at 11 Central Time, anyways, and Friday at 8 a.m. Central Time, our non-negotiable opportunities to be on these global alliance calls. And we don't set appointments. I don't care if I got $1 million buyer wanting to go at 8 a.m. or on a Friday, or 11 a.m. on a Monday. Those are the times that we protect to make sure that we're connected and plugged in. So what I mean is things as simple as that is get plugged in and stay plugged in, and don't be afraid, just like you did now, to ask the questions about what we're doing.
Yeah, get those non-negotiables into your schedule, fix them, and don't let anything get in the way.
Amen.
Alessandra, jump in.
Hello, good morning. I just wanted to say, because I feel like Art missed this part. Um, Art is my team lead. We've been working together for almost 2 years now. He's been coaching me throughout everything on lead generation, agent attraction. But the one thing I don't think he mentioned is what I've seen on how he creates these relationships with agents, where he knows it may take months or maybe even years, but he is so patient and he's always there as a resource. Jumping back in on what Jane said, he's pouring into all these agents. He just doesn't care, at a point where sometimes I'm like, stop, like chill out. But he's like, no, with time something's gonna happen, and if it doesn't happen, at the end of the day they'll know that I'm here for them. And that's just something that I appreciate and admire a lot of Art. Just those relationships, it's helped me a lot to learn how to build those relationships as well, because since I'm newer, I'm so desperate. I'm like, you didn't answer in 1 week, okay, well, goodbye, I don't need you, right? But with him, I've just realized that, hey, it takes time. We have the resources. We have all the resources. We have you guys. We have Honey Badger. We have the Next Gen, our own organization. We have all the resources, and it's just about being there for the agents. And I think that's something that Art does amazing with agents in his organization and outside of.
Beautiful. Kendall, thank you for sharing that, Alessandra. Thank you. Kendall, jump in, please.
Hey, hi everybody. Good morning. I am driving. That's why I had a long ride to a 10 a.m. appointment. So I was like, oh, let me listen in, which I'm so glad I did. Thank you, Vincent, for, bringing in the amazing leadership there, and thank you, Art, for sharing. And I'm just like, you know, doing stuff like this is so important, having these types of conversations. But I did have an ask. And my ask is, I think this would be really good for all of us to have, especially because some of us are more experienced with attraction than others. And I think it would be really helpful, especially with all these great minds to put together around conversation starters. Like, what are the questions that you're asking, that you're saying to people that, are causing people to think twice, or to have what, maybe I do need to think more deeply about that, right? Like, I feel like there's some questions that some of us have asked that have done a really good job of building connection and community and relationship. And this is why I cannot drive and be on the phone same time. But anyway, that's my ask is, can we put together a list of questions and conversation starters that some of our leaders are using to attract? I think that would be a helpful tool. Anyway, that's it. I'm done.
I think so too. Thank you so much for bringing that up, guys. Bring that to the next class. Okay, bring that to
Yeah, I
the
love
next
that.
class. We'll talk around that, and we'll compile a really nice list that we could all use to go out there and get people thinking. Get people thinking about what it's like to when you stop producing, right? Those little things like that moment when you get them to say, "Hey, wait a minute, you know what? Art's right." Right? Maybe I do need to explore that. What are the list of questions that we could have to get people to self-realize that maybe this is where they need to be, or maybe they need to explore a little bit more. All right. Uh, guys, let's give Art some love. I wanted to make sure you guys are connected. I want to make sure that everybody knows
Thank you
who
guys.
Art is, people in his organization. I want you guys to know that we've got partners everywhere. And we want you guys to all be connected because there's so much business happening in the world. And we want to make sure that we're able to connect the business to the right people. Art, thank you so much for sharing with this group, being open and being vulnerable, and we appreciate you so much.
Thank you guys. It's an honor. I look forward to meeting all of y'all. If I haven't already at Build at Sea, I'm excited. I've never been on a cruise, so I don't get seasick, but I'm super excited for it.
Yes. Francis, do we have that slide with the producers for this last week, the last 30 days?
I will check the email, Vincent, but surely I just received it this morning.
All right. So let's put that in there. You know what? I got it. Is that showing up? All right, guys. We got to figure out how to get Art's group in here as well. I've noticed that they're not in here because of the whole co-sponsor and how the reports are pulled. But this list should be a lot bigger than what it is, and you guys are playing your part. Leveraging your organization, leveraging your lenders, your vendors. Such a smart move. So congrats for everybody that's out there growing their organization, contributing to the growth at eXp. You're doing it for yourself. You're doing it for all of us. We appreciate you. All right, guys, that's it for Alliance Attractors today. I hope it was valuable. I found it incredibly valuable. Art, thank you so much. Thank you all for being here. Let's go out there and kill it today.
Thank you guys.
Take
Y'all
care,
have a great
everybody.
weekend. Take care.